Okay, good morning everybody, it's Mike and thanks for joining me this morning. I appreciate you being here. Maybe you've noticed what a screwed up year this is so far, huh? Just stuff happening all over the place, so disruptive to our lives and our businesses, right? You had a plan, you have routines, you have a schedule, and it's all out the window now. And this can cause a lot of stress and anxiety on us. And I don't know about you, I've turned the TV off. I'm not watching that stuff anymore. I'm not watching the news. I don't know who to believe. I don't know who's telling me a true and accurate story. I don't think anybody is. That's what I think. I don't think anybody is giving me a true and accurate story anymore. If you have a source for information that you believe is true and accurate and unbiased, good for you. I would love to hear from you on what you believe that is. But as for me, I don't think anybody is true, accurate, and unbiased. I think they all have an agenda. And I don't think it's helping me in my day-to-day life and definitely not helping me in my business. All these negative voices. You know, on Facebook, I've told you this, I'm the luckiest person that I know because I have 5,000 friends on Facebook and they're all the smartest people on the planet. They're all infectious disease experts and they're all sociologists and they're all political experts. It's amazing how smart all my friends on Facebook are. Now I'm being a tad facetious. I don't believe anything, and I don't think any of this is helping me. So what I'm urging myself and you is to control the voices that we allow to influence us every day. If you find yourself feeling a tad anxious, a little grumpier than usual, maybe you're fighting off some symptoms of depression. There's nothing wrong with you. That would be normal now. But here's what I'm going to offer you. Your personal power is in how you react to what's happening, not what's happening. And you can control how you react. You can control the voices and messages that you allow to influence you. So let me give you some tips this morning on some steps I've taken, and maybe they'll be helpful to you. Okay? First, increase your exercise. At least 60 minutes of rigorous exercise every day. It'll help you process all this stuff. It'll help you deal with all the emotions that are churning through your body. I promise you it will. Second, increase your hydration. The amount of water that you put in your body. Your body's made of water and it needs it to function correctly. And when you don't feed it enough water, you're going to feel tired and lethargic and grumpy. Those are some side effects of dehydration. Okay? Now, messages. There's some messages that I'm pumping into my brain every day. I love podcasts. I love podcasts because they're free. I'm a big free person. Now, what podcast do I listen to? There's a guy named Jocko, Jocko. He's an ex-Navy SEAL. I love Jocko's podcast. Maybe it's a guy thing, but I think the message that I hear for him is one of discipline and consistency and control and professionalism. I love his messages. Tom Ferry. I love Tom Ferry's podcast. I think he's got a lot of good information there. He has a lot of visitors that join his podcast, and they share good information and insights. I like listening to that. Books. Maybe you like to read. Maybe you don't like to read. Personally, I find it hard to find the time to sit down with a book and read. I like to read, I just don't find that I have the time. But I love Audible. Audible's my favorite app on my phone, right? And boy, because I don't have to listen to that crap on the radio or even my satellite radio. I get tired of the same music all the time. Books on Audible are relatively inexpensive. I can choose the books that I want to listen to. Like the most recent book that I've finished is Never Split the Difference by VOSS. What a great book. It's so helpful in business, but it's entertaining too. Personally, I don't like to just listen to business books that don't have any entertainment value to them at all. They're just lecturing me on how I ought to wake up with a joy in my heart and singing with the birds every day. That's a bunch of crap to me. That's boring. VOSS wrote this book, Never Split the Difference. He's an ex-FBI negotiator. He tells stories. He gives examples. He shows you negotiating techniques that are practical and can be applied every day. Even books that I listen to just for enjoyment, just to keep good messages. Look, I don't want to read or listen to things that are downers. I don't want to hear about mass murderers. I don't want to hear about negative stuff. I want stuff that makes me a little bit better every day. And I want to keep putting that in my brain. TV, I don't want to watch stuff that's negative, down, depressing, involves shooting up a whole bunch of people. If it's a positive, uplifting story, I'll watch it. If it's not, I'll just turn the TV off. Listen to a good book. Listen to a good podcast. Listen to some music that is positive and uplifting. Why? Because folks, today, more important than ever before, we've got to control the voices that are entering our brain and turn off the negative stuff that has an agenda. They all have an agenda. Their agenda is to manipulate you for their benefit, to manipulate your mind and your opinions for their benefit. Turn that stuff off, pump some good stuff into your brain. If nothing else, turn everything off and have a conversation with the people that you say you care about and listen to them. This is Mike, and I'm urging you to go out there and make it happen for yourself today.